Olive oil is a staple ingredient in my kitchen, and I hope if it's not already one in yours that it soon will be. Quite often I'm asked which olive oil do I cook with and which one do I use, and how do I know when to use which one? Choosing olive oil is based on two things, what you're using it for and the region that it came from. Olive oil is very much like wine in that olives grow in many regions of the world, and each of those regions has different soil, different water, different climate, which affects the flavor of the olives, just as it does in the grapes for wine. Olive oil is a very healthy choice for us. It's a monosaturated fat, one of the healthiest that you can buy, and I use it nearly exclusively in my kitchen because I like the flavor and the fact that it's not processed and that it's a healthy fat. There are different grades of olive oil when you go to the store to look at them. In the United States, typically you will find 3 different grades. You'll find most often extra virgin olive oil, and that will be the largest selection that you will find. This comes from the first pressing of the olives. It has a very well-balanced acid content, and when you taste extra virgin olive oil, some things that will always apply, no matter where it comes from, is that it should not feel greasy on your tongue, and it should taste very well balanced. The next grade that you will find in the United States is pure olive oil, and that comes from a pressing several times down the line. Sometimes the olives have even been heated for this particular pressing. Pure olive oil will have a bit greasier taste and feel in your mouth, but it has a higher smoking point than extra virgin olive oil. So it's the olive oil of choice for frying versus putting on a salad. One other kind of olive oil that you might find in the marketplace is called light olive oil. And it's simply called light because it's light on olive flavor. It has the same number of calories and the same amount of fat grams as regular olive oil. If you're going to buy an expensive olive oil, you need to keep in mind that it's very much like an expensive bottle of wine. So you don't want to cook with that expensive olive oil because you will lose the subtle nuances in the flavor of the oil. That's an oil to maybe just sprinkle over some tomatoes or drizzle into a soup. At the most, make a vinaigrette, but you would never cook with that. Use a less expensive olive oil in cooking food. Let's have a look at some olive oils from different regions of the world. Today I have an olive oil from Greece, one from Spain, one from Italy, and one from California in the perimeter of the plate here. All of these 4 olive oils in the corners are extra virgin olive oils. And if you can see, the color varies from each region. Typically what I have found is that the darker green the olive oil is, the more it tastes like green olives and the more peppery that it tastes. The more yellow an olive oil is, the more buttery the flavor and the less bite it has, a little less pungent. It's not quite as olivey flavored as the greener ones. Here in the center of the board I have a bowl of pure olive oil, and you can see that the color of this one is lighter than the others. If we take a little tour around the board in the world of olive oil, we'll start here with a California olive oil, which is very green. This one has a very green olivey flavor to it. Next around the board we have a Greek olive oil. This one again is very green. I find that Greek olive oils tend to taste very much like green olives and have a bit of a peppery finish to them. In this corner I have a Spanish olive oil. That one tends to be very yellow and tastes very buttery to my palate. And lastly we have an Italian olive oil, which is sort of a yellow-green. It's a very good balance between the olivey, buttery, and a little bit spicy, peppery flavor. In the center of the board I have a bowl of pure olive oil. Now remember, this comes from later pressings of the olives, and so this is the oil that you're going to use in cooking. This is the oil that gets heated. It has a higher smoking point, so this is the oil of choice for cooking. When you're purchasing olive oil, buy in quantities that you can use within 6 months. You might find that the olive oil you purchase in the market could be as much as a year old before it gets to your own pantry, and it doesn't keep more than 2 years tops. So you want to use it quickly. When you get it home, store it in a cool, dark place. I don't recommend refrigeration, but you can if you must. So when it's time to cook with it, which one do you use? The extra virgin is a wonderful choice for salad dressings and foods that are served at room temperature, or any dish that the olive oil is a very integral part of the recipe. For example, a Neapolitan ragu, which is a wonderful, rich, flavorful tomato sauce that has a lot of olive oil in it. If you're just frying a chicken breast or a pork chop and making a chicken piccata, then use the pure olive oil for the frying. So choose and use your olive oils wisely. It's a healthy choice and a delicious one.